Hello, good evening, and good afternoon, and welcome to yet another edition of Learning Basic English. Okay, and this is lesson 8. Okay, welcome to our class. So, we're going to continue with learning a grammar point and learning different ways of using the language. Last week, we talked about the passive voice, and today we'll be talking about something called indefinite pronouns. Okay, so what does that mean exactly? Indefinite. Indefinite means that we're talking about people, or we're talking about places, or we're talking about things, but we're not being very specific. We're not being clear what it is exactly that we are talking about. Okay, so let's have a look at some examples. Okay, I hope that everyone can see the chart. And for example, if we're talking about people and we want to change this to be indefinite, then what we would say is we could use two different words. We could say somebody, okay, as an example. Okay, so we could use somebody, okay, and we can also use someone, okay. Now, what's the difference between somebody and someone? Okay, generally somebody is more formal. We use it in a more formal setting, and someone is a little bit more informal. Okay, so that's the difference between them. So somebody and someone. Okay, also with people we can use anybody. Okay, now anybody generally we use that in questions, and we'll definitely give some examples shortly. Okay, and then we're also going to use nobody. Okay. And finally, everybody. Okay. So these are the examples of the indefinite pronouns, okay, that when we're referring to people: somebody, someone, anybody, nobody, and everybody. Okay, what about with things? What are the pronouns that we'll use in that case? Starting with some would be something, okay, whereas any would be anything, and no would be nothing. So sometimes I ask my students, I say, so what are you doing? What are you doing right now? And they will answer, nothing, nothing. I'm doing nothing. Okay, it's okay. We can answer this way. But of course, the language is not very polite. It's rather informal in that case. So instead of saying nothing, we could say anything. Probably much better. I'm not doing anything. What do you think? Which one is better? Is it better to say, I'm doing nothing, or I'm not doing anything? Okay. If you want to be polite, I'm not doing anything. So maybe when you're talking with your friends, maybe you're not in a very happy mood, maybe you're a little bit bored, I suppose, you could just simply say nothing. Okay. I'm doing nothing. All right. Okay. And then let's move on to every. In this case, we would use everything. So with things, we say something, anything, nothing, and everything. Finally, let's move on to places. With places, we're going to say someplace. Okay. Is that the only choice? Can we only say someplace? Actually, it's not the only choice. We can also say somewhere. Okay. So once again, the question is, what is the difference between someplace and somewhere? And much the same as somebody and someone, somewhere is more formal, someplace is less formal language. Okay. And let's move on to any. So anywhere, as well as any place. Okay. Nowhere and no place. So remember, okay, that nowhere would be considered to be more polite, whereas no place would be considered to be rather informal. In fact, as far as this spell checker is concerned, this isn't even a word. Okay, so maybe we're just going to take that out and just go with nowhere. Maybe no place is kind of slang English, not very polite at all. And then finally we have every. Okay, everywhere. Okay. And these are the examples of the indefinite pronouns that we're going to be looking at today. All right, so I'm going to share screen again, and we're going to check our answers. Let's see if the answers actually correspond to what we have here. Let me check the answer sheet. One moment. Need to look for the answer sheet. It is hiding. It's hiding on me. Okay, maybe let me share screen just one more time, and I'm sure we'll find it. Okay, there we go. Okay, this is the answer sheet that I was looking for. Okay, so as we mentioned before, with some, we can use someone and somebody. Somebody would be the more polite option. And maybe to practice the language, if you can see behind me, my background is a little bit different than last week, and that's because I have moved. I have moved to a new house. So maybe you want to ask me some questions about my new house. So, for example, you could ask, did somebody help you find this new house, or did you find it by yourself? Okay. So did somebody help you find the house? Or you could say, did anybody help you find this house? Now, what's the difference between somebody and anybody? They're both correct. In the case of somebody, the person who's asking you probably thinks that someone has helped you. Okay. So that's why they're going to ask somebody. Whereas if they ask anybody, then maybe they're thinking that I found the house by myself. Okay, so in that case, they would ask, did anybody help you find this house? But if they think someone might have helped me, then probably they're going to use somebody. Did somebody help you find the house? And the answer, in fact, is yes, somebody did help me find this house. Okay. The people who help you find a house, these people are called real estate agents. Okay, and she did a really wonderful job. And I think she found me a really great place. I feel very comfortable here. All right, so let's go on to the next one. Nobody is living next door to my house. So I have no neighbors. I have no neighbors on this side to the right of my house. Nobody is living next door, but there is somebody living to the left of my house. So I do have a neighbor to the left, but nobody is living next to me to the right. Okay. And then finally, everyone, everybody. It seems like everybody would like to live in this area because it's very close to shopping. There are a lot of excellent schools and restaurants in this area. So everybody wants to live in the area where I'm currently living. It seems like it's a very popular destination, a very popular place to live. Okay. So that's how we would use the questions about people. Okay. Now about things. Okay. There are some things that I'm not going to keep because it's too difficult to move the things upstairs. So there are some things that I'm going to try to sell. Okay. And maybe using anything. Anything, quite often, any we use in questions. So a question could be something like, are you going to sell anything? Or are you going to sell something? Or are you going to keep everything? Okay. And then the answer would be, right now I haven't sold anything, or I've sold nothing, but I'm planning on selling some things. Okay. This word nothing, we don't use very often. It's a little bit too informal. Nothing is the kind of language that you can use with friends. Okay, and let's move on to places. Okay. So maybe somewhere. Did you find somewhere to live? Yes, I did find somewhere. I found a very nice place. Okay. Anywhere. Maybe a question could be, let me think of a question with anywhere. Is there anywhere that you would like to go around your house? Okay. And the answer would be, yeah, there are a lot of places that I would like to visit around my house. So there's, like I said, there's some good shopping and some good restaurants nearby. Okay. And yeah, I would like to go everywhere in my neighborhood, but yeah, give it some time and then I'll have a look around. Okay. So these are some different ways that we can use the indefinite pronouns. Okay, now let's move to the next part of our lesson, which is going to involve some games and activities. Okay, so let's move on to that now. And I will share screen with the first activity where we're also using the indefinite pronouns. Okay. So can everyone see there are 8 sentences? And what we want to do is we want to use the correct indefinite pronoun in the space that is provided. So number 1, the first one is a question. Are you doing tonight? Okay, so are you doing beep tonight? Okay, so what do you think? What is the pronoun, the indefinite pronoun that you want to use here? Okay, remember it's a question. So generally with questions, we want to use any. Okay, so I'm going to type in any. And in this case, are we talking about people, places, or things? If we're talking about people, then it would be anybody. If we're talking about places, then it would be anywhere. And if we're talking about things, it would be anything. So what do you think? Are you doing anybody? Are you doing anywhere? Or are you doing anything tonight? I think the correct answer should be anything. Okay. What do you think, guys? Does it look good to you? Are you doing anything? Are you doing anything tonight? Okay. Or are you doing something tonight? I think both of them are fine. Remember, if we use some in English, it means that I have an idea that you will be busy tonight. But if I'm not sure, or maybe I think you're just going to be staying at home, then probably I will ask, are you doing anything tonight? Okay, so that's question number 1. Let's move on to number 2. Did you meet beep interesting last night? Okay. Now the verb meet, a lot of times my students use the word meet when they're talking about having a new experience or seeing something for the first time. Like I don't know, like um did you meet something? Okay. But in fact, we only use meet with people. We can only meet people. So knowing that it's people, it should be body, B-O-D-Y, buddy. So did you meet anybody, somebody, nobody, or everybody? Which one? What do you think? I'll give you some time to think about it. Okay. We definitely want to use, for people, we want to use body or buddy. Okay. So the question is, what do you think? Anybody? Did you meet anybody interesting last night? Okay. Once again, I think somebody is also correct here. Did you meet somebody interesting last night? If I ask you somebody, it means that I have some idea that you did in fact meet somebody. Okay, number 3. Beep called when you were out. He's going to call back again. Okay, so this must be a person who called. So again, we're going to use buddy. Or let's change it up. Let's use one this time. A little bit more informal language. One. So would it be anyone, someone, everyone, or no one? Okay, I'm going to go with some. What do you think? Someone called when you're out. He's going to call back again. Okay, number 3. All right, let's move on to number 4. I've seen your wallet, beep, but I can't remember exactly where. Okay, so this one would be a place. I've seen your wallet in some place. So I guess we could use place, but maybe better to use the more polite language, which would be where. I've seen your wallet. What do you think? Everywhere? I've seen your wallet. I've seen your wallet everywhere. Everywhere. No, that doesn't seem to make sense. Okay, let's go with some. I've seen your wallet somewhere, but I can't remember exactly where. All right, so that's number 4. Okay. And now we can move on to number 5. There is beep interesting on television tonight. Let's go out. This one's a little bit tricky. There is interesting on TV tonight. Let's go out. So they're suggesting in this case that we should go out. So that means it's not a good idea to stay at home. Not a good idea to stay at home and watch TV. So that means the idea of watching TV is not a good option. So are we going to use some? We're talking about television. So we're going to use thing because television is a thing. So what about it? What do you think? What do you think? There is something interesting on TV tonight. Let's go out. What do you think? Is that correct? A little bit strange, isn't it? Because if there is something interesting on TV, you don't want to go out. You want to stay home and watch, right? So we're going to change the some to nothing. Okay. So what do you think? There's nothing interesting on TV tonight. Let's go out. Nothing. There's nothing interesting. Now, I mentioned to you before, using nothing is not very polite, but it's okay with friends. Another option could be, but we don't have it in this sentence. There is not, there isn't anything interesting on TV tonight. Let's go out. Okay, so we could use both. There isn't anything interesting on TV, or there is nothing interesting on TV tonight. Let's go out. Okay, let's move on to number 6. Did beep call when I was out? In this case, it's call on the telephone. So it must be a person who's calling or who called. So because it's a person, we're going to use, of course, we're going to use body or buddy, B-O-D-Y. Okay. It's a question. So normally with questions, we probably want to use anybody. Did anybody call when I was out? Okay. All right. And I thought I mentioned there's 8 sentences. Wow, there's a lot. There's 12 sentences. So we're halfway there. So we have 6 more sentences to look at. So are you getting a better understanding about how we use the indefinite pronouns? What do you think about number 7? Did you go beep exciting on the weekend? So in this case, it's a place. So we're going to use where. And again, it's a question. So with questions, do we want to use, what do we want to use? Do we want to use no, every, some, or any? Once again, with questions, we probably want to use any. Did you go anywhere? Okay. Did you go anywhere exciting on the weekend? And we go on to number 8. I bought you beep, really nice for your birthday. So this must be a thing that you bought for their birthday. It's not a question, it's a statement. So we probably want to use some. I bought you something really nice for your birthday. Number 9, I rang the doorbell, but beep answered. Okay, I rang the doorbell, ding dong. Okay, and I thought somebody would answer, but this suggests some contrast, something opposite to what we expect. So I rang the doorbell, but what do you think? Did anybody answer? Did anybody answer? The answer is nobody answered. Okay, but nobody answered. I rang the doorbell, ding dong, but nobody answered. Okay, maybe there's somebody home, but maybe they're listening to some music, or they didn't hear the doorbell. Okay, so number 10, we went shopping, but again, contrast, but we didn't buy, in this case, because it's negative, did not buy. When it's negative, do we use something or do we use anything? What do you think? We went shopping, but we didn't buy something. We went shopping, but we didn't buy anything. Which one is correct? Okay. In the group, what do you guys think? So with negatives, we probably want to use any. Any doesn't want to type out. Okay. So any. Oh, my keyboard says it wants to be some. I don't think so. It's got to be anything. We went shopping, but we didn't buy anything. Number 11, there's beep more expensive than New York City. Okay. So there's more expensive than New York City. This one's a little bit tricky. Okay. So this is a place, right? It's a place. So it's got to be either place or it's got to be where. Okay. All right. Now, is everywhere more expensive than New York City? No. But it could be somewhere. Okay. There's somewhere more expensive than New York City. There's somewhere more expensive than New York City, or there's some place more expensive than New York City. I think both are fine, but we will go with the more formal English. There's somewhere more expensive than New York City. Okay. And that one's a bit tricky, number 11. I hope that's right. Okay, number 12. Beep has stolen 3 of my tarts. Okay. So it's a person. So we could use buddy, or we could also use one. We could use everyone. Everyone has stolen 3 of my tarts. Everyone has stolen my tarts. Probably not everyone, but someone. Someone has stolen 3 of my tarts. And that's it. Activity. And the answers are, we've got 12 answers here. We've filled them all in. And let's hope we can check our answers. And let's hope, how many do you think we got correct? We want to get a perfect score. Here we go. Uh-huh. Okay. So there are some things we need to look at here. Okay. Did you meet anybody interesting last night? Okay. They're saying that it's not correct. So my thinking is that maybe they think that we have, in fact, met somebody. So we're going to use somebody here. Did you meet somebody interesting last night? This means the person thinks that I have. Okay, so that one also is correct. Did anybody call when I was out? Again, maybe the person asking the question thinks that someone must have called. So they're going to use somebody. Did somebody call when I was out? Okay. They're somewhere more expensive than New York City. We could change where. Remember, it's a place. There's some place more expensive than New York City. Okay. Someone has stolen 3 of my tarts. Oh, they don't want us using someone, I guess. Okay, so let's go with somebody. Okay. So you see, in some cases, there's more than one correct answer. So let's see if we can get all 12 correct now. Wow, there's still 2. Wow, surprising. Did somebody call when I was out? Okay. So how about anyone? Did anyone call when I was out? There's some place more expensive than New York City. There's some places maybe more expensive than New York City. Okay. Oh no. Okay, we missed one. Number 11. Okay. So does anybody know the answer for number 11? Okay. Still not a bad score, 11 out of 12, but was hoping to get perfect. Okay, the one there is more expensive than New York City. It has to be a place. So everywhere, more expensive. There's everywhere. No, can't be everywhere. Somewhere more expensive. Anywhere. There's anywhere more expensive. Is there anywhere more expensive than New York City? Let's try anywhere. But it can't be because we can only use anywhere with questions. Okay. So in fact, they give us the correct, no, still not correct. Anyway, I'll have to figure that one out later, guys. Okay. That one is a bit of a mystery. So I have another game that I want to share with you that also practices the indefinite pronouns. So shall we move on? And hopefully we can get a perfect score this time around. Okay. So I'm going to share screen and we're going to get out of this one and enter into another game here. Okay. So just one moment. So I'm hoping to reshare. For some reason, the shared screen, I don't know. Is the shared screen working for you guys? Okay. Okay, sorry about that. Having a little bit of a technical issue here. Okay, just bear with me, guys. Give me one moment and I will try one more time to share screen with the correct activity. Okay. Okay. So hopefully with this new activity, you can see that there are some boxes, and the boxes are from number 1 to number 16. Okay. Now you can play this game maybe with a friend at home. Maybe a very simple way of playing this game would be tic-tac-toe. You know, tic-tac-toe when you can get, or X's and O's, where you can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 correct answers in a straight line, or maybe diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 6, 11, 16, perhaps, or maybe going down 3, 7, 11, 15. 4 correct answers would mean that you would win the game. X's and O's or tic-tac-toe. And the way it works is choose a number from number 1 to 16, any number. And I'm going to go with number 10. Okay. And what you're going to see is you're going to see some examples of messages, maybe SMS messages that you received on your telephone. And I thought I smelled beep burning near the kitchen. You can see there's a missing word here. So what is the missing word going to be? I have just checked and didn't see beep unusual. Okay, maybe it was just my toast again. So what we need to think about is what are the indefinite pronouns that we're going to use in this case? Okay, so this is a message on the telephone. I thought I smelled a text message. I thought I smelled something, maybe. I thought I smelled something burning near the kitchen. So I think this first one probably should be something. And then the answer, yeah, I've just checked and didn't see anything unusual. Okay, maybe it was just my toast again. My thoughts are that this one should be somebody, or something rather, something. And this one should be anything because it's negative. Did not see anything. So something and anything. Now, if you want to find what the correct answer is, then what you'll need to do is click on the key here, and you can see the answer is in fact correct. It's something and anything. So 2 people speaking, I thought I smelled something burning near the kitchen. Oh, I've just checked and didn't see anything unusual. Okay, maybe it was just my toast again. Okay, and that's it. So that's the answer for number 10. And you can see that number 10 has been completed. Okay, so we're going to move on to another number. Okay, I would love to hear what your lucky number is, what number you would like to look at. But I don't know if I have time to wait for that. So let's go to number 2. Okay, another text message. I think I took beep Else's phone by mistake. Wow, that's awkward. Yeah, I hope beep calls it soon so I can give it back. Okay, so what is the missing indefinite pronouns in these 2 places? Okay, I think I took somebody else's or someone else's phone by mistake. That's awkward. Yeah, I hope somebody calls it soon so I can give it back. So here in this case, I think we want to use some in both cases. Maybe someone or somebody, and then someone or somebody here as well. Okay, so let's check the answer. And in this case, they use someone. Okay, the less formal answer. I think I took someone else's phone by mistake. Wow, that's awkward. Yeah, I hope someone calls it soon so I can give it back. Okay, so someone is the correct answer for both cases. Okay. Okay, so we've completed number 2 and number 10. We still have a few more minutes left. I think we can do at least 2 more. I don't know. A lot of people think number 8 is lucky. So number 8. We walked around for 20 minutes and found beep to sit. I'm starving and there's beep. I feel like eating nearby. Let's just get takeaways and eat in the park. Okay, so what is the missing answer here? We walked around for 20 minutes and found somewhere, this has to be a place, and found somewhere to sit and found some place to sit. I'm starving and there's beep. I feel like eating nearby. Let's just get takeaway and eat in the park. Okay. So I'm starving and there's what? There's everything, there's nothing, there's something, or what is it? What do you think the correct answer is here? Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, in fact, it is nothing. Okay, we walked around for 20 minutes and found nowhere to sit. Okay, so we can't find anywhere to sit. So we found nowhere to sit. Oh, I'm so hungry. I'm starving. And there's nothing. I feel like eating nearby. Let's just get takeaway and eat in the park. So in this case, the correct answer is nowhere and nothing. And that's all for number 8. Okay. So we have time for at least one more. I'm not going to even think about number 13. Let's just keep it all positive today. Let's go for number 1 then. Okay, can't go wrong with number 1. Okay, in this case, oh no, I can't find my passport. I checked my bag, but there's beep inside. I think you left it beep near the check-in desk. Okay, so I can't find my passport. I checked my bag, but there is what is inside? What is inside the bag? Probably there's nothing inside. I checked my bag, but there's nothing inside. I think you left it. It's another place. So I think you left it somewhere near the check-in desk. So my thinking is there's nothing inside, nothing, and then somewhere. Okay, let's have a look. And that's correct. Okay. All right, we got the correct answer there. So I can't find my passport. I checked my bag, but there's nothing inside my bag. Yeah, I think you left it somewhere near the check-in desk. Okay, so somewhere near the airport. And that's it. Okay, so we have been able to complete number 1, 2, 8, and 10. If you like, I can send you the link to this lesson, to this game, and then perhaps you can try this activity with friends of yours so you can practice how to use the indefinite pronouns. And that brings us to the end of another class. So I hope it's been interesting for you. I hope you've learned a couple of new things. I think sometimes indefinite pronouns can be a little bit confusing. Even I was confused by one of the answers. I still have to go back and check what that's all about. But I think there's one more thing that I need to share with you. So, okay. So I'm going to reshare. Just give me one moment. And that is, there is someone who is supporting me with this class. There's an organization that I work with. And I would like to tell you something about embassy camps. Okay. I think you can see the information now. So embassy camps, what are they all about? Embassy camps, they conduct English language camps at least 4 or 5 times a year in several locations around the world. Those locations are including Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Dubai, and probably other locations that I probably haven't heard about yet. So I know they're doing a lot of other things, but this time I want to focus on the embassy camps. And if you want to know more about the camps, I can tell you that they're kind of designed towards young learners to give them the chance to improve their English during their vacation period or during the vacation holiday. If you want to know more about Embassy English, please contact the telephone number. You can see the number here, or you can simply access using your QR code to get more information, or you can contact Embassy Camps at education@embassyalliance.com or www.embassy.camp. Okay, so please get in touch with us, and then you can find out more about these wonderful experiences, these opportunities to learn English on a daily basis and to learn in a stress-free environment and have a lot of fun with the language and learn some great conversational skills. Okay, so that's it for this evening. So thank you so much for joining me once again, and I will see you again next week. All the best. Bye for now.